And now we know. Prosecutors trying to fill gaps in its case against former NFL star Aaron Hernandez. Several searches for the gun used to kill Odin Lloyd have come up empty so far, and there are apparently no eyewitnesses to the murder other than those who may have been involved. But prosecutors believe two suspected accomplices may have the answers. Let's bring in our legal panel. David Schwartz, defense attorney and former prosecutor, and Richard St. Paul, who is a defense attorney as well. Gentlemen, good to see you.
Hi, good to see you.
All right, David, let me start with you because this guy, Ernest Wallace, you think he may have already flipped or is in the process of doing a deal?
Right. For a cooperating witness to cooperate, you don't necessarily know about it in the very beginning case. You know, many times we find out about it after the fact. So I believe Wallace doesn't have a choice in this case. He's going to be squeezed. If he doesn't cooperate, he's going to be charged with that murder because even if he's not the shooter, he's still 1% liable for that murder, and they'll charge him with it.
Richard, you disagree. You don't think Wallace is flipped. How so?
No, I don't. Look, the prosecution had a probable cause hearing. They delayed that hearing because they didn't have enough information.
Right.
Wallace hasn't flipped yet. He has no reason to flip. There's no fingerprints. There's no gun. All they have found, the police have found are the casing of a 45 shells, which the victim was shot with, but that doesn't say that Hernandez murdered the victim.
But look, there is a lot of other incriminating evidence, incriminating toward Hernandez most of all. You've got cell phone communications. You've got surveillance video. You've got the victim's sister that places, the victim together with Aaron Hernandez. And then you've got DNA evidence, blue bubble gum, believe it or not, that may place Hernandez literally next to the body.
But the question is, does that then prove that Hernandez committed the murder, or did Wallace commit the murder, or even Ortiz? Nothing ties Hernandez in to the direct murder. That's why Wallace is so important.
If they go like this and say the other guy's the shooter, no, he's the shooter. But they can if prosecutors can put all three of them at the murder scene at the time of the murder, aren't they all acting in concert?
Right. We were just talking about that in the green room. That's the most fun as a prosecutor. When you get to sit back, cross your arms and let the three of them fight it out at defense table, that's a lot of fun, and that could take place.
That's the best scenario for the prosecution to do.
Another problem with one guy flipping against another is that, snitches with career criminals get beat up on cross-examination over credibility issues. So that's a consideration, right?
Absolutely. Credibility is key in every single case. The witness's credibility, Ortiz's credibility is going to be challenged by the defense.
No, there's no doubt. But in this situation, when you can already place all three of them with the victim. There's a lot of evidence to say they were all together. So I think that even a snitch has more credibility because of the other circumstantial evidence there.
Trouble for prosecutors is Hernandez has been paying Wallace's bills. So, Wallace is allegedly quite loyal and may not want to flip. I mean, should prosecutors step up the charges against Wallace? Put some heat on this man.
They're going to squeeze Wallace. They're going to put the heat on him. They haven't even begun yet. The legal fees are going to be the least of what's on his mind. Once they charge him with that murder, they could charge him both, and they'll hang that over his head.
See, that's a great point, because what's the incentive for Wallace to flip if his legal bills are being paid by Hernandez? So they've got to pump up information that may perhaps Wallace, they're looking at Florida to see if he committed a murder or other information that they can squeeze Wallace.
Well, and they may be going after Hernandez for the Boston double homicide case, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they may be, but still, they need evidence for that too.
Absolutely. And like I said in the beginning, I think Wallace is already cooperating. The fact that they haven't charged him with the murder yet.
But we'll see. August 22nd is the probable cause hearing, so we'll see if the prosecution.
I like the acting in concert approach. I think
it's the best approach.
It is. You both would agree.
They're all there. There's a murder.
No
there's a
deals.
shooting.
You're all going to be tried together. You're all there. We can put you there. I mean, there's a plethora of evidence.
Look, none of them are angels. That's probably the best deal anyway for the
prosecution
to do. Yeah.
All right, David Schwartz, Richard St. Paul. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
All right, Heather.